Hey guys, what's up? Primal here, and not another reaction video, or not necessarily a gameplay video either. It's somewhat of a review on my experience. Okay, so as you all know, these past 3 days, the Iceborne beta returned with the chance for us to hunt Velkhana, and oh my crap, that fight is tough. I mean, if I had a little bit more time, I could probably beat her, but where do I even begin? I mean, her fight is indeed something worthy of master rank, but it's not necessary. I don't know. So yeah, I did fight Velkhana many times to try and get a victory over her, and I figured once I did, I'd finally be done, but I could not, and so this time around, my experience with the Iceborne beta was a little disappointing because I spent all my time on her trying to beat her, rather than experiencing the other bits of the beta that I could have, looked at more with the Tigrex and Bottomburrow hunt, which is kind of what was the main sole focus of the previous two betas. But, I mean, I really wanted a chance to slay Velkhana early, before, school started getting a bit too heavy. Well, good news, guys. Just about 5 days till Iceborne comes out, and even though it's highly unlikely we'll see any more content before the game releases, like any reveals or whatever, there's still, like, some time, and it is a possibility. So, back to my Velkhana experience. So, figuring that she was an ice-based Elder Dragon / monster, however you want to look at her, I did my best to load up my inventory with ice-resistant items such as armor and charms and all that. And for the most part, it seemed to work pretty well. I did not get Ice Blight once until I changed up my build a little bit later on to try and, raise my attack, see if I could, follow in the footsteps of others who have succeeded before me, YouTubers, hunters who are much better than me or anyone else could be. Take a few names for existence: Kanta Perme and Team Darkside, two biggest ones. Probably even Rurikan, or yeah, he's like this new guy who was covering all the Arch-Tempered monsters and events. I watched him to get a couple tips. I mean, sadly, none of those worked for me. I tried, doing the same things they did. None of their strategies would really work for me, and I'm a little salty about that. But what I'm even more salty about is it's not necessarily the time, because I understand it's like a beta and it's supposed to be a really, ultimate challenge thing in this beta before the actual game comes out. But there were some actual bullcrap moments in that fight. One of which would be, Velkhana focuses a lot of her, close combat within her tail. Like, she'd strike at you with it, she'd try to stab you, and seconds after it landed, it would actually hit me, even though it didn't look like I was anywhere in the vicinity to get hit. I'd actually get hit. I think Kulf Taroth had some bullcrap hitboxes. I'll just take a look. And I mean, I'm just a little upset I wasn't able to beat it. I'm not sure how many actually were, but guys, I'll be right back. Back to what I was saying. Where was I? I know I was in the middle of... I know I was in the middle of something about Velkhana, but I can't really focus on what it was exactly. I guess I'll just continue nonetheless. So, another problem I had, it wasn't necessarily the difficulty or the time, it was the people I played with. At times I just found them to be complete idiots, because as soon as Velkhana started limping, they chased directly after her, and they'd, be in her territory, which would provoke her enough to not fall asleep, because if she did fall asleep, we could have actually killed her, or at least had a better chance of doing so. But no, they keep attacking her and chasing after her, which causes her not to doze off and rest while we plant bombs and stuff. And for us to continue to fight, we got wasted, ran out of time. Yeah, that was one of the more frustrating bits. And I guess another statement I could make is the fact that we had limited options in our build. We didn't have any decorations. We had a limited amount of armor and weapons that we could use against her. I used everything from dual blades all the way to frickin' switch axe, which is not necessarily my preference, to try and kill her. Pretty much, I used almost every trick in the book that I could find to try and kill her, and nothing seemed to work. And by the way, I can't really find the source on where people are coming up with the fact that Velkhana is actually a girl. I mean, I understand where... I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, be sexist in terms of the dragon or anything, and I'm not trying to assume it's gender, it's just, when I looked, I couldn't really figure out where people confirmed it was a girl, and people keep referring to it as a she, or... So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. I was probably one of the many, many unfortunate people who could not slay her. And I give you very few who actually did my congratulations. But I guess I could also go a bit more in depth on the monster itself. She actually is pretty enjoyable for the most part, aside from those bullcrap hitboxes with her tail. Maybe some of the ice obstacles she makes, because when she, you know, do that little ice spike wave with her frost breath, some of them seem to be a lot wider than I expected, unless that's probably part of her being enraged. I don't know. Also, yeah, her armor was... I like the fact that you could pretty much get rid of it if you hit her enough times with the dragon pods, or... Yeah. And... yeah, that armor of hers is really tough to break, and... I'm a little skeptical on the fact that her tail can still, you know, get you even though you cut it off, and that... because that, to me, seemed like a staple point to, you know, try and remove, because most of her... a good amount of her attacks seem to come from her tail. And she had so many follow-ups with that tail, I kid you not. And sometimes she'd just go ham with her ice obstacles and frost breath. It was really hard to, you know, get close to her, because she'd, you know, fly up in the air and screech, and I couldn't even touch her, because a good amount of the time I was playing with close range weapons, like dual blades and longsword, as stated before. It's not an easy fight, and because she tends to be an airborne monster most of the time, that's kind of why I use bowgun. That's kind of my main. I like to dabble in other weapons like insect glaive, and I have gotten used to, you know, working with the Final Fantasy XIV weapon and armor. I kind of consider it a bit of a Dragon Buster build, because I'm easily able to take down Xeno'jiiva in under like 20 minutes because of it, and I could probably do the same for Nergigante and Kushala Daora. I haven't really played too much with Teostra or Lunastra, because they're probably the toughest of the bunch of the Elder Dragons. I mean, there's Kirin, but once you have the right equipment and build for it, it's not really that hard to take down, unless it's arch-tempered. I just hope she's not as tough as she is in this beta, in the real game, the real expansion. I mean, it's not a full game. I mean, it could be considered a full game, seeing as it rivals the base game, but... I just cannot comprehend the fact... I mean, the other monsters in the beta, like Tigrex and Bonboro, they weren't really as tough, and I had, like, very little help with that, to be honest, and sometimes like to even get the killing blow on those monsters in the most ridiculous way. Like, as soon as I caused Tigrex to slip up during its charge attack and it crashed to the ground, I tried to latch onto it with its face with my clutch claw, and the moment my claw touched it, it killed it. So yeah, that's an interesting story. You can go back and watch my very first Iceborne beta video if you want. It's in my playlist of Monster Hunter, or just by, you know, simply searching, which I think is probably the most difficult option that you could have. I just hope that there's some, you know, easement in these and her and these other monsters in the actual expansion when it releases, because that way we'll have our full builds, we'll have more time, hopefully, because, I mean, Behemoth was tough, and we only had 35 minutes for it, but it was doable. I was actually able to take it down with some help when I finally found the right players. I mean, Behemoth is indeed tough, but with the right amount of help and the right people, you can easily take it down. And sadly, that help is not easy to come by nowadays. Now, I'm just wondering how these other monsters that we've seen revealed will finally stack up. I mean, I wanted to face monsters like Brachydios, Sclavinus, and Zenogre, but since this is going to be like a tougher rank, I'm a little concerned because I don't want that. I mean, I really want to beat it, and I want to be able to, you know, also do the stuff I need to in my own life. I just don't want to like get caught up in it because I pretty much probably went overboard on how long I spent with Velkhana this weekend. And I probably don't want to do that again. I'll probably just maybe like a hunt or two per day or weekend, because I think those will probably be the only days I can actually, you know, sit down and play. Because my schedule is a bit heavier than normal this year. As for yeah, because I mean, while I admit I like those monsters, I'm just a little bit more concerned about their difficulty if they're going to be in like the G rank, you know, equivalent. I'm still wondering how Hunter rank would stack up, because I'm like rank 95 or 6 right now, and I'm just not entirely sure it matters all that much. I mean, does it like increase my power or something? I don't know. All I know is that you go up a rank and when you reach a certain point you get special rewards, but I don't think it necessarily affects your attack power or anything like that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my experience with Velkhana. Rishi was just a little bit easier, and as I recently learned, I'm not the only person to do an experience video on her, but I figured I should because, I mean, I really wanted to do a video on her despite the fact that I didn't actually beat her. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you this coming weekend when the actual expansion releases. And yeah, that's probably when I'm gonna be doing my next video, unless something else Monster Hunter wise comes out, because yeah, I realize now I've been doing like all these Monster Hunter focus videos because it's like been like my next big focus, because it's the next big title coming out this year. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.